Hi, welcome to episode 4 of Millennials Ruin Quilting.
If you haven't joined us before, I'm Colleen.
And I'm Alexis. Today we're going to talk to you about embroidery.
Machine embroidery specifically.
Yeah. And I know last week we talked about fear and things we're afraid of, and you said machine embroidery was something we were afraid of.
It definitely was. They're expensive machines. They move very fast. They're kind of loud at times.
Yeah.
And I did have this somewhat irrational fear of the needle breaking and shooting into my eye at high speeds.
That's a real fear I think a lot of people have, because
to be fair, it has happened when I'm sewing on my regular machine, when I'm doing stuff, especially with zippers, because that's when I break the most needles. But it hasn't happened.
It's probably the scariest thing of sewing is leaving a needle somewhere or having one break on you, and they shoot out. So be careful, people.
But I haven't actually broken any, well, that's not true. I have broken many needles while embroidering. I have not had any fly into my eye.
No.
And I don't wear protective eyewear while sewing because
some people do. Some people do. And machines
if
can
you're
have...
unsure, you definitely should.
But we're going to tell you the things that you need to do to help prevent that from ever happening.
Yep.
Because if you do what you're supposed to, you
won't
probably won't have
a
you won't have a needle in the eye, but you probably won't even break a needle. Honestly.
Well,
it could
sometimes
happen.
They just break.
But you know what?
Sometimes it's not necessarily the person's fault.
Don't stick your face under the machine.
Don't
You'll
stick
be
your face.
Golden. Okay. So
all right. So
what do we need to get started?
You need an embroidery machine first and foremost. Can't do machine embroidery without one. For that, you'll want to probably go to your local machine shop and talk with them, figure out what's right for you, what's right for your budget, and for what you want to do, because different machines can do different things.
And there's a good price range.
There is.
You don't need to have $30,000 to get an embroidery machine.
Nope.
No, not at all. There's a huge gamut, and you can get a quality one for under $1,000.
Those of you who have watched the show before know that I do a lot of sewing, quilting, and embroidering with my mom. I'm very fortunate in that respect, and I get to use all her fun machines.
So jealous.
Including this wonderful 10-needle embroidery machine. It's on the older side. You know, she's had it for a long time. I say we because it's now like our machine because we share a studio. And she lets me use it. But it's still a fantastic machine, and it's so much fun to watch it stitch and do its thing. And it's great because I can stitch out an entire design and not have to have it stop and change thread. So I can just set it up, and then I can go do something else. And that's one of the beauties of machine embroidery, is that you can just let it stitch, and you can accomplish other things.
Yeah, I find I often have mine running while I'm doing sewing or long arm or something else, and then when I come back, well, for me, I change the color. I have a single needle, and mine you have to change the thread color every time it needs one. And for me, and my price range, that totally fits my needs, and I love it, and I get beautiful quality designs from it.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be showing both today. We'll show you a little bit of the 10 needle.
Yeah, we have some video footage. Unfortunately, it's not here with us.
Unfortunately, indeed.
It's at the Mad Quilter studio in Dublin. That's where it lives. But I did take some video of when I was stitching out earlier today. And I think you'll get the idea of just how much fun it is.
Yeah, they're really great. One day I'll get my hands on one.
But Alexis does have some really awesome machines here at the MRQ studio. And so we'll still be able to show you just how awesome even a single needle machine is still a really awesome machine.
They're great. And
don't get me wrong, you don't need 10 needles. It's nice. It's a luxury to have 10 needles.
Yeah.
But you can get by just fine with one.
And you get beautiful results from a single needle. You just have to change the thread. And I'll show you how to do it quick and easily, and it's great. So once you get your machine and you figure out that, you're going to need hoops. Yes.
Most, I think, come with hoops. I've never actually bought one myself because, again, I have an awesome mother. Hi, Mom. Thanks for sharing all your fun toys with me. But they come with hoops.
Yeah,
at least one or two.
I've bought 3 single needle embroidery machines, sewing and embroidery machines, and they've all come with hoops. You can even buy machines. I have a Bernina 780 as one of my machines. Or wait, was it 980? I have a Bernina
780.
780?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what I have. I have so many machines.
No.
So I have a 780, and you can buy it just as a sewing machine, or you can add the embroidery. So if you want to get started and you're not sure, that might be a great way to start. Buy a machine that you can add it on later. And once you get the embroidery unit, it comes with all the hoops. So, and by all the hoops, it usually comes with 3 or 4, usually a tiny one. They get a little bit bigger, and the average one comes with a decent size. You can definitely do like a jean jacket or a sweatshirt or something on it.
Excellent. So once you have your machine and your hoop, the next step is your stabilizer.
And stabilizers are a must for machine embroidery. And what do you say, we show them a couple different kinds that we have here today?
Yeah. So there's 3 basic main types of stabilizers. You have your tearaway, your cutaway, and your washaway. So your tearaway is going to be your most basic, probably mostly for cottons.
I use tearaway most of the time, partially because I'm lazy and I hate cutting it away and I don't like the stiffness. But if for most of your needs, you're probably going to use a medium weight tearaway. That's probably the first and most important staple in your arsenal. And you can tell a tearaway by, that's the cutaway, by
I thought we had a roll of it too.
it, what does it do, Colleen? It tears.
Ooh, that's
so
nice.
it gives a nice
Tear it
tear.
again.
It comes away easily. It really stabilizes your fabrics. And then you just tear it away when you're done. And it's easy peasy. It washes out really, really soft and comfortable. And you don't see that much of it. However, if you're going to be stitching something jersey, something that moves around, that has some stretch to it, you're going to need something a little bit more firm, a little more stabilizing, as you will. And that's where you move on to a cutaway.
And
You'll know
look.
you have to cut it. It will not tear,
It will not tear.
away, no matter how hard you try.
I was trying pretty hard, guys.
Yeah, and it also washes pretty soft in your shirts, sweatshirts, things like that. Next, we have washaway. This looks kind of meshy and kind of see-through, and you can tear it, and it has kind of a web. But the beauty about washaway is, what does it do?
It washes away.
Exactly. So you stitch on it, and kind of like magic, it disappears.
Dissolves.
Completely dissolves and disappears, and you'll never have to see it again. And
Unlike your credit card bills.
those won't ever go away unless you have to pay them. You have to pay them off. Then they'll go away. But if you're a crafter, you're
Good luck.
never going to pay them off. Now I'm sad and I need a drink.
Anyway. So,
You know what? I also want to mention water-soluble topping, because I get asked all the time. People want to do towels or robes or things that are terry or kind of have a little bit of a plush fluff to them, if you will. And this is, you use a stabilizer, but then you also put this on top, and this also washes away, but you'll get a more professional, kind of pretty looking embroidery because it keeps the threads from getting lost under all that plushness of terry towels or robes and things like that. So, and minky, if you're doing minky blankets and you want to put someone's name on it or whatever, use this and you'll come out with way more professional, beautiful designs, and it just washes away. So it feels soft and cozy for your baby blankets and all that.
awesome. So now we have the stabilizers. We should probably choose some threads.
Yes. And threads, you can pick whatever colors you want, pretty much as long as you use embroidery thread. The two that I use most often are Isacord and Floriani, and I think all embroidery threads are polyester and about 40 weight. That's pretty much average.
This is what we use too.
Yeah.
We also use a lot of Isacord for quilting, but that's a whole other episode.
Yeah, and you don't use these just for embroidery. You can use them for quilting and other things. And the main difference between Isacord and Floriani, they're both great quality, is Floriani has a little bit of a sheen and kind of a shine to it, whereas Isacord's a little bit more matte. But those are the two I recommend, and I rarely have breakage and problems with these. So if you're just getting started, they're great ones to work with.
And they're pretty readily available. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can find them at most sewing machine stores, I would say.
Yeah.
All right, so we have our machine, we have a hoop, we have stabilizer, we have thread. What are we embroidering on?
Whatever you want. You can
Whatever
embroider
you want.
anything.
So we have embroidered on some muslin here. I stitched this out on the 10 needle this afternoon. Forgive any flaws in it. It was the first design I digitized. My mom helped me out getting everything just right.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
For your first design and everything. You did fantastic.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. My mom is teaching us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And this is, you'll see this stitching out step by step in the video. I tried to capture as much as possible without boring you, because not everyone gets excited as I do about watching machine stitch things.
Oh, I do. It's like mesmerizing.
If you're watching this, I hope you get excited, but if you don't, it's cool. We'll cut it down. We'll speed it up. We'll make it less painful.
Thank you.
But it was a lot of fun. So this is just on muslin. It's a bit of a big design right now, but my intention is to someday put it on hats, on maybe a sweatshirt for us or anyone who might be interested in rocking the MRQ logo.
Yeah, we're hoping to have this on our website pretty soon. Look for it in the future.
You can also do really fun things like this is just all stitched on stabilizer.
Water soluble stabilizer. So
this is what's called a freestanding lace. That's right, embroidery machines can make lace. So if you are getting married soon, like some of us are, you can make your own lace for your wedding dress.
yeah, or you can make. A lot of people do lanterns and
Lace centerpieces for
Yeah.
their tables. I mean, I hope a lot of people don't. But if they do, cool, because I am too, and it's going to be awesome.
yeah. There's so much you can do with your machine.
Very, like, yes, it's an investment, but it's totally worth it because they're fantastic, and I feel like everything you'll make and the fun you'll have is totally worth it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And kids love to have their names on things, or have my daughter had me put a unicorn on her jacket, and you can do that because you have an embroidery machine, and it's so easy and fun to make things personalized for holidays or anything.
So you put stuff on jackets?
Yeah, I just finished making. I used to play guitar back in the day, and I love music. So I made. We'll show you on the close-up here. This hoodie. I just bought this hoodie at the store. I didn't make it or anything, and it was kind of boring, kind of bland black hoodie, and it needed a little something. So I embroidered this really cool guitar design I found on urbanthreads.com, and they have fantastic designs at reasonable prices. And I've bought probably 100 or more designs from them, and I've never had a problem with stitch out. Great, reliable designs.
If you watched our last episode on Things That Scare Us and you saw my chubby pizza-eating unicorn, that was also Urban Thread, because they occasionally do, or I think regularly, they have a free design.
Free designs and sales all the time.
All the time. So definitely check them out because it's super awesome.
And their link is in our website under links. So check them out and see if there's something there for you.
All right. Well, this is awesome.
Thank you. So
should we
do you guys want to see
do some embroidery?
Well, do you want to see a little magic first?
Yeah.
On the freestanding lace?
We do love magic.
Okay.
Do you want me to get that so you don't fall and drop it?
Sure. So with the freestanding lace, as we said, this is water soluble. So if you want to make a bookmark or lace for a wedding or something, this will disappear. So I'm going to reach across here and get my cutter, because you want to cut as much of this off as kind of humanly possible. And I'm going to cut, and you have to sing that song while you cut, right?
Cut it out. I'd like to wrap. I got my rotary cutter and now we're cutting. I don't like to wrap. I'm sorry.
She's pretty good at it though. She can really throw it down. So then you just throw all your stuff aside, and then just like magic, you put it in the water. Sometimes you kind of have to give it a little bit of some help along the way. Colleen, would you be so kind as to grab me that towel over there, just so I don't drip all over everywhere? And you guys can see, it's just like disappearing. Thanks, Colleen. Give it like a little bit of a smoosh, as you will. And just like that, it disappeared. We'll dry it off for you and give you a little bit of a better view. You let it dry and it becomes kind of stiff too. So if you're making a bookmark, you're gonna say that's what she said. That's okay.
I stopped myself.
That's okay. I know you.
Myself.
I know you very well. That's okay. We can make jokes like that. You guys are fine with that, right? Okay. And you have a nice stiff bookmark. Well, it kind of flopped a little. We're that kind of a show, everybody. You have a nice bookmark.
Can we just embroider now?
Yeah.
Put your floppy bookmark down.
I thought that was really exciting.
It is exciting. It's really cool. And, oh, it's already stiffening up.
It's okay. I hear you all saying it. That's what she said. That's fine.
It's really cool, though. What book are you going to read?
The sad thing is, I only read from my Kindle. So I'm sure...
Millennials. We have no use for bookmarks, so we ruin that, too.
You could wear it in your hair.
Probably. Nope.
You can't.
Just walked on over.
Well, for you book readers, this would make a great gift for someone who actually reads physical books. Or you could, it's an ornament now.
You know what? This would actually probably be like a really neat book when you're reading your kids Harry Potter, because it's kind of like a quill.
See? It's a gift that keeps on giving.
All right, so let's set up some embroidery.
Let's embroider some things.
Maybe stop with the dirty jokes, Alexis.
Is that not good? And we're back.
Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
So, what's this pile of stuff here, you ask?
It is a pile of stuff indeed.
So what we're going to embroider today is just your basic kitchen tea towel because the holidays are coming up.
Great gift.
Great gift. Simple, easy, and
they'll think you spent a long time on it.
And you didn't at all.
But you kind of did, because it might take a while to stitch, but you were just doing other stuff.
Yeah.
They don't need to know that.
You were drinking or doing laundry, something productive,
or
just watching Netflix. But they don't have to know any of that, and we're going to show you how easy it is.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we have here?
We have a hoop.
Just a basic size hoop.
Tear away. See? It tears.
And just a tea towel. And this, you can make tea towels.
Or you can buy them for relatively cheap.
I think I paid $2 for this tea towel, and it's a good quality tea towel.
And like you can buy them in bulk a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
So just check around.
Yeah, Amazon,
That
anywhere. So, do you want to hoop it up, or do you want me to hoop it?
You go ahead and hoop it because I'm not familiar with this kind of hoop.
Okay, so it's pretty easy. What you want to do, so let's start from the beginning. The
Very good
hoops
place to start.
It's a good place to start. The hoops come like this. There's an inside and an outside. You want to leave the outside out and at the bottom and loosen it up. Lay down your stabilizer. And then...
So, well, we should just say, you know,
yes.
Your stabilizer, a lot of times it comes bigger than your hoop. You want to cut it down, but you don't want it to be too much, like you don't want it to be smaller than your hoop. So
No, you want it to be able to fit really nicely in there and kind of overlap every edge. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Then, on top of your stabilizer, you want to lay down your... Yeah, I shifted things a little bit.
It's okay.
It's not a big deal.
You
We just
reshift.
fixed it. A lot of them come with grids to get it in exactly the right spot. For this one, I can kind of eyeball the center based on some creases that I have. But you can be exact. I'm not an exact person.
If it's not quite centered, it's a little to the left or a little to the right, you can always just tell them, I thought it looked better that way.
Yeah, it was a design choice. That's what you tell people when you make
Design choice.
When you make a mistake. It's creative license. It's handmade,
It's
people.
more aesthetically pleasing.
That's what we do anyway. I hope no one we give gifts to is watching this. Ignore this if we gave you a gift this year. Okay, once you have whatever you're embroidering on, you just slide the hoop. Watch that things don't shift too much. Pop it into place. That's my dog. Ignore him. And then tighten it up.
He's a good boy.
He's a good dog. One day we'll have him on the show. We'll make dog collars or something cute. And once you know that it's in place, that's not shifting around too much, and fairly taut, but not so taut.
Not so taut. It's like,
Don't stretch the fabric because you're going to be really upset if you yank the fabric and stretch it, because it's going to pucker when you take it off. So like Colleen did, a little bit of taut, but not too taut. You'll get the hang of it. You can't really mess it up unless you overstretch it or it's super loose. Now we're going to take this over to the embroidery machine. See there? Now that you have it on the hoop, you're going to want to put it on the machine. And here I have a Baby Lock Elissimo Gold, kind of the old version of the Solaris and the Destiny. But I've had it for years and it works great. And for this, you just slide it into the embroidery carriage, lock it in place. And here, I already have my design on the screen. You'll eat it and you'll like it. We're making a dish towel for these sarcastic folks. So I set it to start sewing. And you know what? I'm gonna leave that thread. That'll be fine. I've already checked the size. It's gonna be 6.88 by 4.65. Make sure you have the right hoop in. I do. That's really it. It's this simple. Tell it to sew, lower the presser foot, press start, and it's going to start stitching for me. It even tells you right here how long it's going to take. This particular color is going to take about 3 minutes to stitch out. It's not too loud. The single needle isn't quite as loud as the multi-needle. So for a single needle embroidery machine, it'll tell you when it's time to change color. It just finished my first color and I'm gonna move on to the second color. And it's really easy. You just pull out the first color, make sure your thread's kind of out of the way, and then pop on your second color. You thread it just like you do normal. Follow the directions. Thread the needle. Lower the presser foot, hit start, and you're already doing your second color. And you go get a second cup of coffee.
or a second glass of wine.
Whatever floats your boat. Once your machine's done, you slide it off the embroidery frame. Go ahead, Colleen. Colleen's never used this one before.
Have not.
You slide it off the embroidery frame. You twist it. On this one, you twist it. All of them come a little bit different. You take off the frame. You want to rip off the back.
I love to rip stuff off.
Tear out that stabilizer.
That wasn't as dramatic as I was hoping.
Right. Little pieces will be left on there. Pick them off. Don't pick them off.
It'll all come out in the wash eventually.
It'll come out in the wash eventually. I get the bigger chunks and leave the rest. Do a mediocre job and forget the rest. That's what I always say. When it's good enough for you,
you'll eat it and like it.
Right? And this is the perfect gift for anybody who has a sense of humor. And you have a really cute tea towel for a gift for yourself. And it only took, what, 25 minutes to make? And we had dinner.
We did.
While it stitched. We refilled our drinks, took a little break, Just came out, switched the thread when it told us to, and it came out great, we think.
It came out great.
So machine embroidery is really for everybody.
So don't be afraid to try it like I was. It's silly. It's a lot of fun. It's fairly simple. And if you need help, you can always send us an email, ask us a question.
Post to our Facebook or Instagram.
Or if you've already been doing some machine embroidery, just share with us what you've done.
Yeah, we love seeing what everybody's coming up with and what everybody's doing.
All right, well, I think that does it for episode 4 of Millennials Ruin Quilting.
Thanks for joining us.
We really appreciate you being here.
Bye.
See you next time.